The nightclub is actually such a good money making property, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can make money faster using a simple trick. It has by far the best passive money in the entire game, plus the active money making side, which is also amazing. Now for the longest time I haven't actually dived too deep into the active money making side of this place, but it's actually really good. Beginning in the basement where we have the underground warehouse. This is basically different stock that you can collect, and you control everything through the computer. Now it's the exact same computer as we have in the top level of the nightclub. So going into warehouse management, when you get a nightclub in the first place, of course you have to do a few setup missions, and they're gonna give you one technician for completely free to assign to any of these businesses down here. Now most of these are MC businesses, and the only real downside with this is that you actually have to own other businesses to be able to power this active money making with the nightclub. The only non-MC businesses are cargo and shipments, and then sporting goods. So this one's the bunker, and this one is the special cargo warehouse with the CEO office. So basically you do have to be owning other businesses. The upside with this though is that all the MC businesses are by far the cheapest in the game. So you have to own an MC, and then they're only going to be costing about a few $100,000 for each one. And as you get more of these businesses, you would actually buy more technicians and assign them to whichever one you want. You pretty much just have to be owning these businesses and then assign the technicians. You don't actually have to do too much in those actual businesses. I'm not a very good example because I don't own enough of these, but I'll definitely be buying them soon. Meaning if I don't have a lot of these businesses, it is going to limit the amount of stock and amount of cash I could get out of this. Now one side of this could be just assigning the technicians, or we could actually just act as a technician ourselves. And this is where the trick to make money way faster with this property comes in. Owning a nightclub is going to get Johan as a contact on your phone, and when you give him a call you can actually request some nightclub goods, which is basically going to be filling up the stock in the warehouse. Let's go ahead and start up one of these missions and complete them as fast as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and press that. Make sure you're not too close to the bottom right corner of the map, but I did find that a lot of these missions are gonna be starting in this area of the map. So I would say start up the mission somewhere in the middle of the city, and then you're gonna get a pretty close location most of the time. A vehicle like an oppressor or a sparrow is gonna be by far the most comfortable thing there is, because you could just lock onto the NPCs that otherwise would absolutely laser you. Here's an example of another location. So this is at the cargo ship docks. These missions are really simple and straightforward, literally just locking on to some NPCs, collecting the goods, and getting out of there as soon as possible. The accuracy of the Oppressor Mark II is not the greatest sometimes, but it's going to be on the inside part of the ship most of the time. I'm going to park my Oppressor in somewhat of an open area just because sometimes it does not want to let you get back on the Oppressor. I don't know why, but let's go ahead and collect the goods and get out of here as fast as possible. Finally, it let me back on my Oppressor. Now at this point we're just gonna get out of here and deliver it back to the nightclub garage. Usually the Sparrow would be as good as the Oppressor for these kinds of missions, but because most of these missions are gonna require you to get on a relatively small ship, the Oppressor being a smaller vehicle that you can actually land really easily in that tight spot is a bit better. The Deluxo could also work, but any fast vehicle, especially an air vehicle, should get the job done, and within just a few minutes we've already completed this thing. Let's just fly into the yellow circle real quick, and that is the mission done. Now from these missions we're gonna get money in two different ways. We got just over $11,000 from the mission itself, but we also increased the payout for selling the goods inside of the warehouse. So we basically increased the payout for the warehouse sell mission while getting some money for completing the mission itself. So, and this is where the trick comes in. So what we're gonna do is set our spawn location to the LS car meet. Once we have this, all we're gonna do is find a new session. So do this in an invite only, preferably, just because there's no difference doing these certain missions in private or public sessions. Now usually there's actually a 20-minute cooldown after completing one of these missions. So if you call up Johan, he's gonna tell you you're not able to continue doing these missions. This trick is actually gonna teach you how you can skip the cooldown every single time, so you can do these missions rapidly back to back to back to back without having to wait whatsoever. We're gonna go up to the vehicle that's sitting here inside of the LS car meet, make sure it's this specific one, and we're gonna press on test drive. That's wire triangle on PlayStation. Then we're gonna hover over enter alone. Now as soon as we press the enter alone option, we're gonna open our phone, quickly call Johan, and make sure you're spamming ARX on PlayStation as fast as possible for just about 10 or 15 seconds. Let's see if I could get it first try. So I'm gonna go ahead and select this, then quickly open up the phone. Johan is gonna be the very bottom option, and if you did it right, we should actually spawn in the drift area for just about a second or two, and then be teleported teleported outside. So let's see if we got it. It's going to show us we're inside of the drift area. Then it's going to give us another black screen to go outside. And that's how you know you did it exactly right. In just a second, there you go. So we're going to get a call from Johan. And would you look at that? Nightclub goods. So no cooldown whatsoever. And it already started another mission. This time looks like we have a different location. Alright, we took out the driver. Now, we're going to go ahead and collect the goods. If you have an iron mule or the cargo bob, this is going to make the process a bit faster since you could literally just pick up these trucks and drop them off at the nightclub. Of course, you want to be taking out the driver as well so he doesn't drive away though. Technically, doing these missions, I guess we're making money in 3 different ways since as you play GTA Online and you constantly have your popularity bar up, you're going to be making $50,000 every 48 minutes. That's another $13,000 and some more money inside of the warehouse. So we have more money in the warehouse, we got some money from the mission itself, and as we're playing the game, we're making passive income in the wall safe. So 3 different methods to make money by doing these goods missions. So highly recommend them. To continue them, you would just find a new session, go in the LS car meet, and do the exact same thing that we just did. Eventually, when you get enough stock to your liking, you would go to the sell goods tab and then just press the very bottom option. Now with the wall safe, as I said, you get $50,000 every end-game day, which is every 48 minutes in real life. The only thing you need to worry about is keeping your popularity maxed out, and you can do that with a couple different ways. The main way is actually just reassigning DJs inside of the nightclub computer. I managed to make just under 20 million with the passive income, literally just collecting it from the wall safe. It's pretty freaking easy. So going into the resident DJ tab, if you haven't bought the certain DJ, it's going to be costing 100,000, but I decided to buy all 4, and then it's going to be just $10,000 to reassign the DJ again and again. Spending this little bit of money is honestly nothing compared to what you're getting, and realistically you only need to buy 2 of these resident DJs and then reassign those 2 back to back to back, one after another, to max out your popularity. There's no real point to own more than 2 DJs, so just to save you guys a bit of money, and the upgrades will actually help you out a little bit with this. The staff upgrade, which might be a little bit expensive at first, is basically gonna get the popularity to go down a little bit slower. It is a pretty useful upgrade. If you have the money for it, definitely buy it. The safe caps at $250,000, so you definitely want to go and collect it every now and then. I'm gonna casually collect 100k here and then reassign a DJ just because I see I have a little bit of popularity to refill. Every DJ you reassign is gonna fill up half a bar. Doing this through the master control terminal in the terabyte or the arcade is actually gonna make it a bit faster, just because you don't get this annoying long cutscene every time you reassign a DJ. The other 2 methods of increasing popularity is getting blue icons on the map around your nightclub. So this is a drunken VIP. You can go up to him, press right D-pad, and drive him home. It's kind of annoying to do because you have to drive at a really slow pace. The other one is just going to be a blue dot icon on the map, which is much better and much faster. That's going to be kicking out a troublemaker, and you just go up to an NPC, press right D-pad on him, you get $10,000 from that, and your popularity goes up by like 1.5 bars. If you're a new player on expanded and enhanced GTA, you get $4 million to spend, and one of the businesses that you can buy at first is the nightclub, so highly recommend it. Both the active and the passive money making side with this property are amazing. Now that you know a bit about the nightclub, click the video on screen now for the best investments you should be making in GTA Online. I hope you all enjoy that one, and peace.